Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Great story.
One more time, Craig, tell me, can you imagine what?
Well, in New York, waking up and you see these mountains and you hear the choir and you go, wow.
You get a little glimpse of Utah. And I know you mentioned, Craig, that obviously because of time's sake, you can't show the whole thing, but you do such a good job at giving us a little look into it. That is so cool.
They did a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. All of us that have worked in television, we know how hard it is to do a remote and are talented people, but think of it then.
Man.
Unbelievable.
What a feet, truly, what a feat to pull off. And our mountains look so good.
They look so good.
And there wasn't any snow then either.
I feel like, my goodness, so that wasn't yesterday, Craig? You threw me off. Oh, I thought, I know, we need some snow. But we had some snow, which has been good, folks. We needed this storm, and gosh, we'd like a few more just like it. Let's begin with some great viewer photos that were sent our way. Love to see this from Lewiston. This was up in Cache Valley. You look towards the mountains, you can really make out that snow line. While it was a valley rain, mountain snow setup, healthy totals for the high country. Love to see 2.5 feet for the mountains, especially after a very sluggish start to winter. Great shot coming in from Lewiston. ABC4.com. That's where you can go and submit your photos. We'd love to see them. We've seen an unsettled couple of days in northern and southern Utah. This one coming from Zion. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful shot there where we were dealing with some rain. But now that storm system has exited tonight. Our precipitation totals very healthy. While we know that southwesterly flow favors certain areas, we saw that in places like the Wasatch Back, over 2.5 inches in Liberty, almost 1.5 inches in Wellsville. Logan doing very well. So did Brigham City, over 1 inch in Sandy. So certain areas seeing the moisture, dealing with the love. Over 1 inch in Ogden. Heber picked up just that. Cedar City, more than 6/10 there. Now St. George and Salt Lake International, not exactly favored by that southwesterly flow. We saw measurable moisture. We made it to 1/10, but really not the same numbers that we were seeing in other portions of the valley. That could change later this week. Great sunset coming from Snowbird. Hidden Peak, but I'm not hiding it from you. It's a new year. You should see it. Isn't that gorgeous? So good. Let's talk snowpack because we needed this bump and we needed it badly. As you notice, the western side of the state, lots of red or significantly below average, notably Tooele. That area really doing poorly at 28% of average. We see numbers jumping into the 50 percentile along the Wasatch, 60%. We see northern and northeastern Utah doing a lot better, and that's because they were the ones grazed by those storms. Our ridge of high pressure kept a lot of that moisture out of here, but they fared a little better than the rest of us. With snow in a short period of time, well, we know the avalanche danger rises. I mentioned this at the beginning of the newscast, but we see this really catapult, especially in the Salt Lake area, to the high risk as we head into tomorrow. Considerable for Logan, Ogden, and the western Uintas. We are all excited to get out there and recreate, but we've already seen tragedy in the backcountry, and we don't want to repeat that. I have to note that the most incidents typically and statistically occur with considerable categories. People think, okay, it's not high, I can still go. Please be careful. We're in between storms. Don't go tomorrow. Don't go this week, not into the backcountry. Stay in bounds if you can, especially on a snow year like this. Clearing moisture over the last several hours, some clouds sneaking into the western side of the state. That zonal flow or westerly flow noticeable. Now some peak time lapse shows the clouds that really took over, but we clear them later on. Yeah, there we go with that dry air taking over, which set up for a very nice sunset. Highs today made it to the 40s, 48 in Salt Lake. That is 10 degrees above where we typically are this time of year. So above average southerly flow. It was still cold. I feel like if you stepped out there, you were like, ooh, it's a little chilly. Same tonight, 40s and 50s on the eastern side of the state. We've got 40s and 50s along the I-15 corridor, and we were above average in St. George, topping out at 59, where the average is usually the low 50s and right around 52. 30s as we get through the next several hours with partly cloudy skies for the overnight, but we're going to be dry. Big picture shows a little bit unsettled with that low digging pretty far south. That zonal flow allows for this small window of high pressure for tomorrow, but then it starts to change. We see those two systems in place. A moist flow ahead of this trough. I like this storm. Why do I like it? Well, it's a typical traditional Utah winter storm. It's going to drop in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to bring a decent cold front behind it. It opens the door for colder air. Now that snow level drops fast with the front, meaning Valley snow potential. That's why I like it. We could see it into Thursday. It would happen overnight Wednesday and into Thursday. Now, the moisture could linger into early Friday morning. We stay cold, and if we have fresh snow on the ground and high pressure sets up, we're talking about a longer period of inversion. I like to forewarn you early. We're going to be dry for the weekend and into next week. Looking at our Futurecast here, you're going to see that valley rain and snow sneaking in Wednesday, showery ahead of that front, which comes through looking healthy into the early morning hours. Forewarning you now, your Thursday morning commute, and possibly for some on Friday, you could see some light snow, so wintry travel is ahead. Plan accordingly. Mountains get some good numbers here, which we love. Looking at those temperatures for tomorrow, above average with the 40s. Here's a check on the next 7 days. We've got 50s dropping to 40s in Washington County and the chance of some rain. And then we look at the Wasatch Front, and I love to see snow on the 7-day for the valley. It is about time. What I didn't tell you is I wasn't going to come back until we had some. So we got some in the mountains.
Yay.
It's back in the valley. I'm back. I'm glad the family's back together.
The Alana counter reset to 0.